Guys, what's going on? It is MindedBike98 back with another video, and today's video is we are going to be talking about the best ways to avoid being killed in Fortnite. Now before we get into the full video, I just want to remind you guys to go follow me on Instagram and Twitter and subscribe to my channel if you are new, and like this video. We do take a lot of time to edit these videos. It is very hard, takes a lot of time, so those likes are very appreciated. Now, in case you guys do not know, I'm having a challenge. Whoever can guess the exact number, not the episode, not the video number, but the number in which I catch the golden fish from my current golden fish frenzy challenge, whoever can guess that number for when I do catch that fish will get 1,000 V-Bucks, whether it's close to the number or if it's right on the dot. Now, in case you guys don't already know, I'm holding a poll on Instagram, so go over there and vote on which video you would prefer to see. You can see all the information on Twitter, of course. The link is in the description below. Now, getting straight into the video. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about is building. Now, it's no secret that one of the most important parts of Fortnite is building to avoid getting shot or to get to a higher mount. But, of course, there are better ways to avoid getting shot when you're building, now, whether that be a wall or if you're trying to go for a kill and you do one of the window to wall edits and trying to get a kill that way. But right now we're talking strictly about avoid getting shot. Now, more precisely, there are sometimes you'll come across enemies that have an RPG and an assault rifle or an SMG. Now, the strategy that this is used in is where they shoot the RPG and it goes straight for the wall, but the enemy, after they shoot the RPG, they quickly take out their SMG or their regular assault rifle and they shoot down the wall just as the rocket almost hits it, so that the RPG takes damage to the opposing player that they are going after. Now, the best way to avoid getting damage from the RPG or whatever rifle they are using to try and assassinate you, you could easily build a staircase right in front of that wall, or if you just have a staircase, try turning around quickly, editing your way out of the back of your little box that you are in. Now, most likely 9 times out of 10, your opponent is going to continue to try to kill you, so next thing you should do is probably box yourself in, whether or not you went through the back of your build or you are still in your build but you are on a staircase. Now try to rebox yourself in, put a roof over top of you, but edit a corner of the roof and try to go for a kill. If the opponent is still shooting at you, try to go and protect yourself, and then when they go to reload, it's a good opportunity to go for the kill. Now if they're inside of a build, try to shoot down their walls, roof, or staircase to try and make it so that they cannot reload in time to try and kill you. Now, your opponent may also try and build up to get the higher ground and try and go for the kill, but it also works in their reference because they can easily go for the higher ground and try to go over top of you, try to get you to build in a little and protect yourself. Now, if you're not good at building, then I would highly recommend that you try to destroy or knock down their fort or build in their higher ground. But if you are good at building, you should try to get that higher ground, but also protect yourself as you're going up, of course, because the opponent may also try to shoot you as you're trying to build up, which they most likely will. Now, another thing I wanted to mention is a sniper rifle 1v1. Now, there are very high chances that the opponent that you're going against, because you never know, is very good with their sniper rifle and their aiming. So the best thing you want to do to try being killed is, 1, go for one of those cheap shots whenever you get a chance, and 2, whenever they're shooting at you and destroying one of your builds, I would number 1 or option 1 try to take your assault rifle out if they're still trying to use their sniper rifle to destroy your builds to get at you. Take your assault rifle and try to go for the cheap shots, try to go for the weak points of his build, knock down some of his fort to try and make him so that he's vulnerable and so that you can waste as many of his mats as you can. But that option is strictly, and I'm saying strictly because I've been through it before, only if you are running out of mats, to try and use as least mats as you can. Using this tactic can make it so that you can save mats and try to get him to stop shooting at you and to focus more on his defending. Now for option 2, I would recommend, if you do have mats and plenty of bullets or whatever else you do have, I would recommend trying to keep your builds up, try to keep yourself protected, but once he goes to reload or switch to another weapon, try to build up towards him or try to go closer to him so you have a better shot at actually killing your opponent. But also, please be sure to make sure when you're going towards your opponent, whether it be on the ground or trying to build up towards him, make sure you are protected and make sure your builds aren't going to be easily destroyed, because they can easily get a kill by destroying your builds and making it so that you fall to your death. Now switching over to a different side of the line, we are talking about when you are vulnerable in a situation where you want to save as many mats as you can, whether you have plenty or whether you have little. Now there are obstacles, as everyone knows, like trees, trucks, cars, rocks, or anything else you can use to avoid getting shot, but that's pretty much obvious to the most players. Now we're going to talk about duos or squads, and you're playing solo or you joined and your allies died. Now there are many ways that you can defend yourself when you're going against a squad or a duo. Again, yes, it's hard, and these ways might not help everybody depending on the situation that they are in, but listen up, I might have a solution for you if you do come up with a 1v3, 1v2, or whatever else you do come up against. Now let's say that you're in a plain sight, like on the grass or whatever, and you see a duo or squad trying to get towards a circle or somewhere along those lines, and you think about firing a shot on your sniper. Now, I would recommend, if you have low health, not go for the shots, but if you do think you want the kill, this is what I would recommend. Now, whether or not you're doing a challenge or whatever else it is that you are doing, I would try to make sure when you're going for the kill, to make sure you have plenty of mats. Now, from the distance between you and your opponents that you're trying to go for the kill against, I would recommend along the way trying to mine up mats, but of course a little undercover so that you don't have to deal with them shooting you. Now another thing to keep in mind is making sure you have enough bullets or ammo for each of the guns that you're going to use in the battle. Now I'm saying this because there are many players out there, I have seen them and I've been one of them myself, that thought that they could go for a big kill, but then realized that they didn't have any mats or they didn't have any ammo for the current challenge they're going against. Now, when you're going for the kill, try to eliminate one of the players first in the early stages of you going for the kill. Now, what do I mean by that? If you have a sniper rifle and they are at a fair distance away that they don't notice you, I would recommend getting the most vulnerable player, whether they are standing still or whether in an open spot trying to heal up. Try to go for those cheap kills. Now, if you are trying to go for that kill, do make sure that you are as out of sight as you can be. Say if you're on a hill, or if you're behind a tree, or if you're by a car, whatever else obstacle you might be near, try to get out of cover or in cover as you can, so that you can avoid the enemies spotting you when you do go to shoot them. Now, when you do actually go for the shot in, let's say you make it and you down the player, say 1 or 2 snipes and that they're down, you have to deal with the other player trying to either revive them or go for you to get the kill so they can revive their friendly ally. Now, I will say this before I forget, whenever you're going up against an opponent, whether it be 1 or 2 people, always assume that the player is better than you, so try to do your best to be your best in the current battle that you are going into. Now, if the other player is going for you, I would highly recommend that you try and build up and get the higher ground on them, but make sure you also have enough health so that if you do get knocked down for whatever reason, you can box yourself in and heal yourself up pretty quickly. Now, on the other hand, if the opponent is trying to go revive their teammates, I would recommend trying to go over to them and try to spam their builds down. Now I know it will be kind of challenging, and in my opinion it's cheating if it's happening to me, but if you need that kill, I would highly recommend trying to go for it. But there is a very high chance that the player might try to build up and should get the higher ground on you when you try and go to kill that enemy. Now if the player does try to go for the higher ground, make sure you keep that higher ground on him and try to go as many kill shots or opportunities that you can. Now if you're running out of mats after a while and your opponent is still trying to get the higher ground, try to go to the bottom with any mats you have or the safest way you can and try to knock down the builds. If he is following you, it is a better chance for you to go for that kill when he does not expect it. But also keep in mind trying to protect yourself with the walls and mats that you do have. Now we're switching over to a very hard part of everyone's gaming careers. Now if you are going up against any type of duo or squad and you do not eliminate any of them when you're first trying to go for the kills, they're most likely going to spam your builds and try to knock you down and kill you. I would recommend when you're in this battle, try to defend yourself more than you're attacking. Now you might think you're good, just imagine that they are the best players in Fortnite to try and get the best result by doing the best you can in the game. Now there's also a very good chance that your opponent or enemy is going to try and destroy your builds because there are multiple enemies and you're not going to have much of a good chance unless you keep yourself boxed in. Now the only way you can avoid dying in these situations is 1, keeping your builds up, and 2, making sure that your health is kept up with whatever heals that you have. Now the other way to avoid dying is to make sure that your builds are of course kept up, but editing your builds so that if they do go to try and shoot them, you edit them and you have a good chance to go for the kills. Now let's change things up a bit. Now let's say where you're in a duo or a squad and you're trying to make sure that your allies and you do not die. Now the very important thing in this aspect, I know it sounds a little strange, but trying to keep your distance from your allies when you're in a fight. Now why do I say this? I say this because if you're all in one place, it's going to be harder for you guys to get the kills. If you guys are spread out a little bit more, your guys are going to have a bit more of a chance to go for those kills because you have multiple angles on the opponent that you are facing. Now I will add that if you are trying to avoid dying and trying to keep your allies up, make sure that your allies and you all have heals. If your allies are down and you are not all healed up, I'm saying this now, do not go for the revive unless the opponent is at a good distance away and is not shooting at you. Now, if they are not at a good distance away and they're very close, try to heal yourself up first because you can't really win a game or go for kills if you're dead. Now, I will add that one of my most favorite guns to use, or the healing gun to use, of course, is the bandaged bazooka. It is very overpowered. It has helped me in many obstacles and fights I have been in, and you can even use it to heal your opponent in a long range. So whether or not you have shield or you have heals in your inventory, try to shield yourself up and then go for that bandaged bazooka. You're not going to regret it in the long run. Now it is overpowered, and the best part about the bandaged bazooka is that it never runs out of ammo. Now it does have a wait time to reload on ammo, but it does not actually run out. And the very last thing I have for this specific topic is using creative mode to get better at not dying. Now I know that sounds weird, but I have my own creative world where I have a defending course where all I have to do is defend against an RPG bot, and I have to defend against an SMG bot, or I think it's a assault rifle bot. But anyway, you can use these defending tactics to help yourself in the actual game. Now this does not only help you survive, but it also helps you to improve your building skills when you are trying to go up against a bot. Now, if you have a fellow ally going in with you in creative mode, I would recommend, like everyone likes to do these days, is 1v1 your opponent. It will help you in the long run, because if you 1v1 somebody and they know you very well, it can improve your skills greatly, and it can help you defend yourself and avoid dying in the actual game itself. Now, all in all, if you guys want to avoid dying in an actual game, whether it be solo duos or squads or any other game mode, make sure you have enough heals, shields, and other weapons that can help you get your kills, and make sure you have enough mats so you can protect yourself in any battle that you may come up against. Now that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please make sure to drop that like down below. It is much appreciated. I take my time. I take a lot of time to edit these videos and make sure it's to the extent that you guys would appreciate the content and the knowledge that I'm giving you. If you feel it has helped, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and follow me on Instagram and Twitter for sneak peeks and little tips and tricks on how to get better at Fortnite. But without further ado, I hope you guys liked it. That's going to be the end of the video. Well, I'll see you guys in the next video. Any audio, music, or soundtrack you hear in this video is not mine. I am not claiming it. It is just for viewers' entertainment.